So this is Dan of Vagabond Awake. I'm in Dumaguete in the Philippines. Yesterday or 2 days ago, we were at the immigration and we met this guy named Robbie, and he said his budget was $600 a month. So I thought you'd want to hear from him. And he's camera shy, so I'm just going to show you the city as I walk around as you listen to his voice. Chung Hoi's shopping right now in Robinson's grocery store. Here we go. I'm here in Dumaguete with an American named Robbie I met, and I met him a couple days ago, and he was telling me what his cost of living is. I thought it was fascinating and that you guys would want to hear. We're here in a public park, in the main waterfront park, and I'm here with Robbie. Hey Robbie, welcome.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm very good, thank you so much. So you're from the United States, Robbie?
Yes, been traveling all over and still traveling.
That's great, that's great. You're a musician, is that right?
Yes, I've been a musician almost all my life, but then as a musician, you know, it's not always full time, so you got to be able to adjust to work at other jobs.
So Robbie, you say you're traveling around the world?
Yes, yes.
And you're at this time, obviously, we're in the Philippines. You're here in the Philippines, right?
Yes, and then I've been going in and out.
Okay. And when we were chatting a couple days ago, you mentioned that your budget is around $600 a month here in Dumaguete?
Yes, in the Philippines, the US dollar goes far, so I budget myself. I live way below my means, very simple. So it makes it easier. And living in the United States, they teach you, oh, you gotta have this, you gotta have that, and growing up, you accumulate a lot of things that you really don't need. So when I started learning about how to budget not only my money, but budget my life, I started to downsize. And pretty soon I didn't need this, I didn't need that. Why? It's just myself. So I learned how to budget down, and then now that's the way I live. It's very easy. I'm looking to go travel other places in the Philippines, maybe Cebu, or maybe north of Manila, Makati, and other places like that. I'm interested in traveling and visiting.
Right. And so yesterday you mentioned that you had recently stayed in a studio here in Dumaguete.
Yes.
How much per month were you paying for your studio?
US dollars, $150.
Wow, that's cheap.
Yes.
Did that have a kitchen?
It has a little small kitchen. It's a studio.
Okay.
So it's just right for me, you know. That's all you need. You don't really need something really big. You see, that's what they make you think in the US. In the United States, they cause you to look at the neighbor and, oh, I gotta get a car like them. Oh, I gotta do this and I gotta do that. But no, you really don't have to. But that's how they that's the lifestyle, that's the culture in the United States. Although they make it look like, wow, it's very nice and you can have this and you can go far. Yeah, you can have stuff, but then after that, it piles up on your back and you get so much stress, and then little do you know that they're taxing you, and then you got to pay more for this and more for that, and it's just a crazy cycle.
Nice. So with a studio of 150, does that come with like a couch and a bed and like silverware and plates and that kind of stuff?
Yes. It's partly furnished, and pretty nice room. It also has flat screen. It comes with Wi-Fi. It's a secured property, so it's nice.
Wow, that's great. Would you say it's like the size of a like a hotel room, or is it a little bigger, or what size-wise? How big is it?
I would say like the size of a hotel room.
Okay, okay. And then you mentioned a big screen TV and Wi-Fi. Wow, what a bonus! And is the internet pretty good? Is it okay?
It's okay. It's okay. You just gotta be patient because you know how crazy the internet is. So you just go with the flow.
Right. And then what about say like electricity? Does that include electricity, or do you pay on top of that?
The electricity I pay, and the water, but $20 a month electricity average, and water $5 a month.
Wow.
Not bad.
Not bad at all.
Yeah.
And do you? I noticed a lot of American expats over here and European expats, they rent motorcycles. Do you rent a motorcycle, or since you're more closer to downtown, do you just walk everywhere?
No, I rent. Yeah.
Okay.
I rent. Yeah,
Well,
because then I'm not at one place for long because I start to travel other cities to visit, and so after rental I just return the moped.
Nice. And how much is it, do you know, per month? Do you remember what it is per month to rent a moped?
Offhand, I don't remember.
Okay. We rented one last month. Well, it was before last month. We haven't rented since the social distancing, but we were renting, and it was around $80 a month US, and we filled it up maybe, it seemed like once a week. It was only like a few dollars, so it wasn't too expensive. So electricity, water, rent, and do you like to cook, or do you eat out more? How do you go with food?
I kind of go half and half because you know food here is very inexpensive and it's fresh. Although you just got to make sure you go to the right places. But yeah, budget for food is I average like maybe $5 a day for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah.
And how much? You mentioned that during the coronavirus thing, you've been doing. Did you say Food Panda? They deliver the food.
Yes. Sometimes they don't allow you to go out, so you have to stay indoors. There's a service called Food Panda, and I have the app on my phone.
Right.
And so I just go in, and it has all the restaurants in the city, and then you just make your order, and then they'll deliver it to you.
Wow, that's great. And then you mentioned your phone. Do you use your U.S. SIM card, or did you buy a local card?
I bought a local card.
Do you remember what it cost per month for that?
Well, actually, I didn't buy a local card. I just bought the phone, and everything's in there already.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so you bought a phone when you got here, so you didn't have to worry about unlocking the phone in the U.S. before you left.
Right.
And so is your phone? Do you pay like a monthly fee for the data, or how does that work?
No, it's just I just go on Wi-Fi.
Oh, you just use the Wi-Fi. That's great.
Yeah, that's it.
So if you need to call someone back in the States, do you use like Skype or Zoom or one of those?
There's a simple thing called Viber.
Okay.
Yeah, you get that app, and there's free calls, free texts.
Wow.
Yeah.
Viber, V-I-B-E-R?
Yes.
Wow, that's great.
Yes.
I've been using Skype and
okay, yeah, there's
and
Skype.
WhatsApp.
Okay, there's that. I used to go on Skype, but I just stay with Viber.
Okay. Let's see. What are we forgetting? What do you? I notice a lot of the expats here, at least not now because a lot of the bars are closed and whatnot. But a lot of them are out drinking every night, and they talk about spending a few $100s a month just on beer and stuff. What do you drink at all, or what's your?
No. Yeah, I just stay away. But being a musician, that's the kind of lifestyle I had. Always in the bars, always in the nightclubs. After a while, it gets old.
Yeah, I'll bet.
And then, it's like, I've been there, done that. Waste a lot of money, waste a lot of time. So now it's different for me now.
But you still play at home. You said you like to play your instrument. You said you have like a little bit of a sound studio set up in your house.
Yes, I have a recording home studio I take with me. I can set it up wherever I go.
Wow.
And then I make my own music. I don't need to call a drummer. I don't need to call a keyboard player, a bass player. I do everything myself.
Nice. So what app do you have an app you use for that on your computer?
No, it's just my software inside my computer.
Okay.
It's called Cakewalk.
Cakewalk.
Yes.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Wow, that's great information. There's a lot of people out there that, I'm sure many of you already know about this stuff, but it's new to me, and there's a lot of people that worry about being able to pursue their hobbies, and music is one for, and one of my neighbors is big on music too. So
yeah, Cakewalk is one of the earliest softwares that came out as far as home studio, and the one I got is old. It's like 2002, but I still got it. It works.
Wow.
It's simple,
Wow.
not complicated. So over the years, they always try to get you, oh, here's a new one. Here's a new one. Upgrade.
Yeah.
And then everybody, oh yeah, I gotta get this. Oh, you can do that, but then it's gonna cost you. Next year, here's another one. Here's another one. So that's how they make their money.
That's great.
Me, I stay simple. What works, I don't need to change. It's like if it's not broken, you don't need to fix it, you know. So I stay with my software, and it's been great.
That's one of my rules too. I never upgrade a toy until it breaks.
Yeah.
Because there's so much time involved in learning the new one and all the new tricks. You could waste 6 months really getting to where you were on an older toy just because you know how it works. So,
yes.
well, that's great. So, do you? I noticed you're in good shape. Do you run? How do you stay in good shape? As you travel.
I do a lot of walking, and also I work out at home. I have some dumbbells. I also have a bicycle. I use that, so I take it with me wherever I go.
And you bring your guitar with you too, everywhere too, don't you?
No, not really. I don't really like to.
No, I don't mean in public. I mean you travel with it.
So
you can use it in your.
Yeah, all my equipment goes with me. Yeah,
right.
Of course.
But that seems like it would be a good way to meet people. Would just to sit in a park and play some beautiful music on your guitar. Have you ever tried that?
Yeah, I tried that, but mostly I'm not really trying to attract people to me.
Okay.
Okay. Because it's not about me. And it's more, life is more than us.
Right.
Yeah. So it's a deeper message.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, good. So, can you think of anything else that we haven't mentioned that you're spending money on? I mean, obviously you buy clothes and stuff like that from time to time, and shoes and all that. But anything come to mind else other than
not really. I use the same clothes that I've wore for the last 10 years.
Yeah.
Shoes, of course, because you're always walking, outside.
Yeah, shoes wear out.
The shorts, shirts, everything's the same. Just make sure it's washed, it's clean. But I hardly spend anything. It's more, and then of course travel.
Right. So you mentioned travel. You love to travel, and
yes.
When you travel from island to island, like in the Philippines, for example, do you use ferries or do you fly? How do you go places?
It depends. Sometimes the ferries are easier, and then sometimes if it's a place far, then I'll have to check the airlines, and then I'll go that way.
I see. And what's a typical ferry that you pay? What are they? $5, $10, $20?
Around there, about $10.
So what would you say if someone said, if someone asked you how much per month on average you're spending traveling around, for example, here in the Philippines, what would you say your monthly budget is for a single man who's staying in a studio like that and is willing to do a little cooking but likes to eat out? You say about one meal a day, roughly?
Yeah, one meal a day.
So what kind of budget do you run in? What would you say your total is?
I would say roughly around figure about $600.
Wow.
A month.
Wow, that's
great.
great.
On everything.
That's great.
Sometimes less.
That's great.
Yeah, because I try to eat just like one meal a day. And then today is my fast day, so I don't eat at all.
Is that on Thursdays?
It depends. It depends on what I've done the day before.
Right.
Previous. So I just try to, like, I seen a documentary the other night about Bruce Lee.
Yeah, yeah.
And he was right on. He said, be like water. So I just go with the flow.
People have this idea that they have to eat 3 meals a day at exact certain times, but when you go on these fasts, it's really only the first few days that you're hungry, and after that your energy seems to be stable, but you don't have the hunger at all, which is really nice.
Exactly.
So.
That's the Western culture or the mindset. They tell you got to have 3 meals a day. Who said? They made it up.
Yeah.
When you do your research, you eat when you're hungry.
Yeah.
And I believe that's what they did way back in the Bible days.
Oh, cool.
They only ate when they were hungry. They didn't need to, breakfast, lunch, dinner. No.
And they were eating closer to the ground. And then too, they were eating vegetables and fruits. And
exactly.
They weren't buying from these processed foods and stuff.
Exactly. Well, if you look back in Genesis, they lived to be hundreds of years old.
Right.
The average today, is less than 100. But back in that day, the air was fresh, the water was clear, clean, vegetables were clean, healthy. So that's why they lived for many, many years.
They didn't even have pesticides back then.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And they rotated the crops so that they weren't trying to grow the same crops every year in the same plot of land, and there were all sorts of things they did to make the food more nutritious.
Yes, yes.
Well, it's been a real pleasure, Robbie. So what are you thinking next? What after the Philippines? Or are you going to stay here for a while? What are your thoughts?
Well, I was looking like Vietnam, or maybe Thailand. So those windows are open for me. I'm doing my research.
That's great.
And it'll come. It's just a matter of time. We all have to wait for this pandemic and stay-home orders. So I'll just go with the flow. But it seems like it's lightening up now. So just a matter of time.
Yeah, that's great. And well, it's a real joy meeting you, Robbie, and I'm sure that the subscribers will enjoy hearing about your budget and what it's like living over here. And you have a unique story. There's people that say it costs $10,000 a month to live in the Philippines. Other people say no less than $2,000, and then once in a while I'll meet someone that's $1,000 or $800, and about a month ago I met a guy who's around $500, and you're at $600. So the thing is, I think people should realize that it's not about what I would spend or what you would spend. It's about what their budget is, what their life is, and what they're going to spend. But they shouldn't, if they don't have $10,000 a month, they shouldn't consider themselves out of the game.
Right.
So it's just a way of showing life is a bowl of fruit. You get to pick what you want to eat and eat that.
Exactly. I suggest just be simple in life.
Click this link below the YouTube video to find out everything you need to know about retiring cheap in Dumaguete in the Philippines.
You don't have to have stuff. That's what brings people down. They have too many stuff in life.
Yeah.
Take it out, downsize, and life will be easier.
Wow, great advice. Thanks so much, Robbie, and you have a wonderful day. Thanks for watching our video. Take care.